It's Christmas, and like last year, I thought why not make a video. Today I'll be talking about Doctor Who's forgotten Christmas special, one that I, as a child, remember rather fondly. The fourth entry to the Doctor Who adventure games, Shadows of the Vashta Nerada, a game and story you probably forgot was even that Christmassy. During the 10 years of Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat, the BBC website used to do an advent calendar called the Doctor Who Adventure Calendar. On the 2nd of December 2010, they teased a new entry to the adventure games, one that wouldn't come out until 20 days later, and on the 22nd of December, I, like many, waited eagerly to download it. And there it was, Shadows of the Vashta Nerada, a game that was literally only set and released at Christmas, and also featured a giant shark. Hold on. Moffat! So, let's get this review underway.
So what is this place?
Subaquatic community. Isn't it amazing? When the oceans rose, 75% of Earth's landmass drowned. Humanity built its own new islands and moved on to the ocean bottom to farm and mine for minerals.
Let's begin with the story. The game is split into 3 separate chapters that last about 20 minutes each, though depending on how fast you play or how good at the puzzles you are, it may vary. In my case, the whole thing lasted about 40 minutes, but that was me trying to speedrun it. The story itself is actually pretty good. You can tell that Stephen Moffat had some creative control, considering that, as mentioned before, it's set at Christmas and there's a giant shark. Phil Ford, as per usual with these games, spins a wonderful tale. Some standout moments are the incredibly tense opening that continues on from the previous story, TARDIS, the first time the Vashta Nerada appear, and of course the ending, where the shark is dragged back to its own world. But while overall it's pretty good, there are some dud moments, mainly when it comes to the dialogue. The chats with Jones, the base's computer, usually fall flat on their face, always leaving you feeling like something was missing. The conversation where you convince Dana to give you the access codes to the agricultural sector is just weird. After saying no multiple times with, honestly, quite good reasoning, she just decides to say, "Oh, all right then," and then hand them over. And of course, by far the biggest flaw, Oswald, played by Nicholas Briggs.
And by the way, I thought I told you. Trying to get your people off Poseidon in life pods will just get them killed.
So I just twiddle my thumbs while you mess around with some quack medicine and let you go mushroom picking? So you get eaten by those things in the shadows? No way! Enough people have died. No one else, Doctor.
Now, this is nothing on Briggs, as he is a wonderful voice actor, and by far the standout of the cast by a mile. But the character itself, he's just a one-dimensional roadblock whose sole purpose is to hate the Doctor for no reason. I get that at first he's a guy who's been put with being the leader of the base, and is of course extremely concerned with the survival of his crew, but after you fix the generator and give him a cure, surely he'd warm to you even a little bit. I also want to mention the first physical appearance of the Vashta Nerada, as where do they even come from? They just kind of appear there. But anyway, I digress. Speaking of the Vashta Nerada actually, they're the main villains, or well, co-villains with the shark. They're actually quite threatening. It's an extremely tense thing going through the dark corridors, trying to cling to the emergency lighting. But that's just when they're in their swarm form. When they're animating corpses, however, they're not so good. The threat just kinda goes away. I suppose this is more of a gameplay problem, but they're not that threatening, especially in their first encounter. In the second, the tension is raised a little bit, but even then. The shark, on the other hand, is always tense. Despite the fact that it's very easy to avoid, the music is always on point, and makes the tension completely. Just listen. All I'm doing is pressing buttons, but it just feels so scary. Speaking of buttons, we finally have some proper puzzle variation with 2 new ones, both very welcome additions. As per usual, they're not too difficult, with all ages being able to find them doable, but I guess that's to be expected. Overall, Shadows of the Vashta Nerada is a good game, with a good story, semi-decent cast of characters, and great villains, though it does have its issues. One in particular I didn't mention is, sadly, Matt Smith, who doesn't actually perform very well. On screen, Matt Smith is energetic and bounces off the walls, but if you put him in a sound booth, he's insanely dull. Karen Gillan, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. She brings all of her on-screen energy to the performance and plays it wonderfully. So why can't Matt? Well, I don't know. But is it a good Christmas special? Hell no. The only thing that reminds you it's Christmas is the giant blow-up Santa in the ending, which lasts about 20 seconds or less. I remember now why it's forgotten. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video then make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below, and more videos will come in the new year. But I'm going to leave off this year by saying thanks for watching and a Merry Christmas to you all at home. See you next year.